I'm just going to provide the broad basic structure and give people some clues because even with the trailers, the teasers, and everything, a lot of people are just very, very confused. What exactly is the story? So I will give the basic outline of the story, but leave a lot open. I've not seen the film, so this is just secondhand knowledge. But I think I've mapped out more or less where they're going with it. So this will provide hopefully a guide to people who are just perplexed and want to know a little bit more before seeing it in theaters. So what is occurring? Well, the obvious, Chadwick Boseman has passed on. So mourning the Black Panther is a big part of the early section of Wakanda Forever. Once that's through, there's apparently going to be this international conflict with some governments wanting to regulate Wakanda and a big back and forth on that. And in the middle of this, apparently someone discovers a way to detect vibranium, which is an extremely valuable resource that Wakanda has. This is basically something that Ironheart has discovered, and this technology really disrupts things, and that brings in Namor or Namor or whatever we're going to call the character. And the story there is essentially that somehow they had a deposit of vibranium in Latin America. A lot of people took the vibranium and were able to create an underwater civilization to rival Wakanda. And presumably they felt no need to make their presence known until now. But now that this vibranium detector technology is out there, that could pose a threat to their monopoly. So Namor basically offers an alliance that they and the Wakandans should join up together to conquer the world. And he also wants Ironheart brought to him. So that's the basic conflict in terms of mainly the plot. There obviously are some more subplots. We're going to get introduced to Ironheart herself. What is Shuri going through? What are the other characters going through? A lot of time spent with the processing of guilt and mourning and how to move on from the trauma. But that is the basic conflict that Namor has his underwater kind of vibranium kingdom, and he's very xenophobic, he's very fearful, he's very aggressive, and he demands that they hand over Ironheart as well as they team up against the world. Obviously, Shuri disagrees. She doesn't want to do that, and that brings them into conflict, and that sets off a massive amount of action around the world as Namor's forces attack the Wakandans, and there's counterattack. I would say, to give some more details, that certain people, even though they are prominently featured in the trailer, do not appear that much. So if you are a big fan of M'Baku and Winston Duke, he is not in this a lot. So certain characters were very much sidelined to make way for Ironheart and other characters. So if you're a M'Baku fan, you're probably going to want more. It's also been very general consensus that this is a little too long, and a lot of time is spent really for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In other words, the story of Wakanda Forever itself could have been shorter, but they're going to give you clues as to where they're going with the next phase. A lot of people have complained the movies have been too self contained. That's not the case here. They're going to spend a lot of time giving you guidelines as to where they're going to go with Disney Plus and some other people, including Ironheart. If you care about that, you'll be fine with this. If you just wanted them to tell their own story, you'll find this a little frustrating. So the pacing and the length is a little bloated, but it makes sense in certain cases. But apparently, even with Namor and his underwater kingdom, it feels a little skimpy. So we're given a few details about how it operates, but a lot more could be given. So all around, that is the basic plot and the conflict. And of course, people want to know, well, who will be the Black Panther. I think it's pretty obvious, but they will add in a twist. I will say it's tied to Chadwick Boseman. I'm not going to give away what the twist is, but there's a certain twist where the legacy of the Black Panther will sort of continue in a certain way. I don't know if you want to judge it clever or just stupid or a little too silly. I'll just say it honors the name of the Black Panther a certain way, and I will leave it there. So very much the memory of T'Challa is a very big shadow that they work with, as well as this new conflict with Namor. You'll have to judge for yourself whether the dilemmas now with vibranium being, I guess, more liberalized. We have more of it in this universe and the impact that will be. And obviously, this is sort of hinting at where Kang will come in terms of wanting his own weapons or his own forces to take advantage of the vibranium available. So, a lot to mull over, and that is the basic spiel with Wakanda Forever. My own judgment is this does seem a lot like basically the first film, but with just a few superficial touches changed. Like Namor basically is Killmonger, but some people said it's just not as good, and that Killmonger was just a much better character and a much better kind of opposing force to T'Challa. So You'll have to judge for yourself whether they did a good enough job building a new antagonist. But does feel a lot like the first film. That's fine. Again, if it's well done. But there are definitely differing judgments whether they did a good job in essentially updating the first film again for a new circumstance. And that's where we are with Wakanda Forever.